a brand, and I've got the Narwal Freo Z10. This is the latest vacuum by Narwal. It is the highest in new technology in the year 2025. Besides its great suction power and its vacuuming and mopping, it's also excellent about hairs, and I've got a lot of hair on my head that gets all over the floor. It's also great for all the corners in your room because of the edging it does with its mopping pads. This is one of my guest suites in my house, and let me tell you, it gets a lot of action. My guests like to hang out in this room, but so does my kitty cat. My big kitty, Meow Meow, for some reason likes to hang out underneath this bed. I know there's a lot of dust bunnies there, but there's also my cat. And sometimes it freaks out my guests that the cat's actually underneath the bed. And it's not just the cat that's a mess in this room. It also could be me or the guests as they want to make their morning coffee. They could spill it all over the place. When my friends are visiting, a lot of things can go wrong. But never fear, the Narwal Freo Z10 is here. And it'll clean without any complaints. And with the app, it's so easy to clean any mess anywhere in your house. Let's get this cleaning started. Onto the app I go, and for this mess, I'm just gonna mop. There's lots of choices on the app, but I need this mess cleaned up quick. And it's a wet mess. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. It's go time. Narwal has an innovative mop structure of these round mopping pads. It simulates a hand wiping motion as they're rotating. They rotate at 180 rotations per minute, each of those mopping pads, and it has two with a large surface area. And it's not just the size of the disc, they extend out beyond the disc. Narwal has developed and incorporated extendable mops, and the extendable mopping is what you need around corners of your rooms, around edgings of furniture. Because it's a round design, it wouldn't work well to get the edges of something that's rectangular. So the extended mop, the way it reaches out, will get those straight lines. And while they're rotating at 180 RPMs, there is also 8 newtons of downward pressure. In the industry, it's known as 8N. Newtons describe atmospheric pressure of gravity. With 8 N's, that's almost 2 pounds of pressure pushing down from the Narwal Freo Z10. So when you combine the 8 N's of downward pressure along with the 180 rotations per minute, you are getting true scrubbing power. The pressure provides the scrubbing power, and then the centrifugal force with 180 RPMs is providing another source of power. And that's power that you don't have to do. That is heavy-duty cleaning. And as it's cleaning, it's extending the mop with that same pressure and uses that edge swing to clean hard-to-reach spots easily in places it would have been hard for you to clean. There are all kinds of floors with their hard surfaces. This will work on any of those hard surface floors. This particular floor I have is an engineered wide plank flooring, very common these days, and we see it has grooves in it where stains and dirt could settle because it's planking from real wood. I need those scrubbing pads to get out that coffee from those grooves and from the seams in between each of those planks. I don't want the dirt to settle there. I want it scrubbed out. And for your messes, it's going to wash with hot water mop washing. Narwal's Freo Z10 has AI adaptive hot water mop washing and drying. There are built-in sensors that identifies the different types of messes it's washing. For regular washing in dirt, like this coffee stain, it's going to come out with 113 degrees Fahrenheit of warm water, and that's its standard. If it were to identify an oily dirt or oily mess, then it will come out with 140 degrees Fahrenheit of hot washing. It's truly a smart mop as to realizing what type of hot water washing it needs to do. That's how far Narwal's AI technology has come in what they've incorporated into the Narwal Freo Z10. The hot water mop washing is brought out in the optimal temperature to clean the stains thoroughly, and we all know that coffee can stain. And while it's mopping, it's also going to be killing bacteria. That hot water mop washing and drying with that bit of detergent that it evenly cleans with while it's mopping your floor. So when it's doing the edge cleaning, that too is getting mopping. It has that edge reach mop extension with that hot water mop washing and drying on those mopping pads. And that edge swing is extending and twisting those mopping pads simultaneously as it's pressing down that 8 in of downward pressure. And check out the navigation and obstacle avoidance. It's not going to bang up into your furniture and hurt itself. It sees your big piece of furniture there. It goes around it, but knows how to extend the mop to clean next to it. Can you imagine? Just think about that. We're seeing this right there. It's not like a paramecium, keep hitting the same thing until it learns not to. It already sees before it the floor it needs to clean and knows when to send out the extenders of the mopping pad. That's intelligent cleaning. And in very quick time, it has cleaned this floor. I've talked more than it actually took to clean that floor. The length of me speaking about this was longer than it actually took to clean the floor. I just had 4 cameras on it so you can see the details of how the Narwal Freo Z10 cleaned. And when it's done, it goes right back into the charging base. And there in the charging base, it's going to empty out the dirty water and it's going to refill with clean water. It also will wash and dry the mopping pads and dry them with 104 degrees air temperature, which is a key feature. You sure don't want those mopping pads to get moldy or mildew or smell bad. The Narwal Freo Z10 will wash and dry them before it goes out to clean again. So it's not going to drag the old dirt and gunk back out to your floor to put there. No, it only goes out once it's cleaned itself with fresh mopping pads and fresh hot water. I've taken some shots here and you could have heard some of the sounds. I've abbreviated this part. And this process is all done in the course of about 3 minutes for it to go back home and wash itself and get out there and keep cleaning. With the AI technology, it knows how much of the clean water it had stored in the tank while it went out to do its job and how much of the dirty water it had taken in. So this is all automatic within its own system brain. Wow, what a great job it did. It is clean to the touch. It's not sticky at all. And now let's do the white glove test. That was a lot of coffee on here, and that could have gotten into the wood and it could have stained or stuck in there as it was mopping. So I'm going here, I've allowed it to dry. Let's see if any of that brown liquid is going to stick to the cloth. No, the cloth is perfectly clean. I could even wash my face with it. Not that I suggest wiping your face with the cloth, but I wanted to show you how clean it was. That's impressive. Now remember, here is the before, here's all the coffee that was there. And now, after it cleaned, here's the after. What a clean, beautiful floor. Now, it's not that I'm blaming it all on Meow Meow, but there's all kinds of stuff that I find under my beds. I have no idea how it gets there, but it does. And what is a dust bunny anyways? Some wad of lint, like my house does not have wind currents underneath the beds, but somehow dust bunnies find themselves there, as well as my hair and the cat's fur and all kinds of junk. This was no man's land before. There was no way I could clean under a bed with anything I owned as a household cleaning tool. And if I did have something, I'd have to lay down flat to do it. This would be the worst part of cleaning I would never want to do, ever, unless I really had to. And that would only be once or twice a year. So here you go, between the cat and all the messes, that's what we have. For cleaning under beds and furniture, the Narwal Freo Z10 with a low profile of just about 3 inches. It can get under all kinds of furniture like it's gotten under my bed. I have lights down here because I want to show you how it cleans, but it's smart enough to work in the dark. Now check out how it's edging around the center of my bed. It doesn't knock down the posts that hold my bed up. It knows to go around them, and it doesn't get any of the cords either underneath my bed. It's not going to get itself caught up and then lost in my household when it's cleaning under a bed. It's down there to work, and work it does. It is vacuuming up all that mess, and then it's mopping. And with that edge cleaning technology, it's getting everything underneath this bed. It had vacuumed, and then it mopped. That was the setting I had pressed. And look at, after all that mess, now look how clean it is. That's an amazing clean of underneath my bed. Here's the before, now here's the after. I just want to mention, with this being the kitty cat zone for Meow Meow, it is so good to have that hot water mop washing and drying be done. My kitty cat's paws have been all over the place, including the litter box. So I am happy to have that hot water mop washing and drying with that bit of detergent to sanitize under the bed so the germs are mopped away. If you have a pet household, that hot water mop washing and drying of the Narwal Freo Z10 is truly a key feature. And now let me show you what was in the dirty water tank and the clean tank. Here I am pulling out the dirty water tank. It's as simple as that. After you empty out the dirty water, then I always clean out the dirty water tank. And now here's the clean water tank, and you can fill it. It was an easy take out, and then here I am putting it back in for further cleaning. Back into the home base it goes. And after cleaning every mess, it goes right back home, and it has a quiet, self-emptying station. The Narwal Freo Z10 will automatically empty all of the dust it had collected during the clean. And while doing that, while extracting the dirt and dust out of the disc, it does so quietly. The dust emptying happens at 71 decibels, which is lower than a human voice in a conversation. That's half the industry average of noise. So it's not going to disturb you in case you're on the phone talking to a friend or talking to your kids or family. Now remember, all of this debris was underneath my bed, and the kitty cat had been dragging stuff under there too. Well, it's going to dry and sterilize the collected dust with hot air. The air is at 113 degrees Fahrenheit, and because that hot air is circulating within the dust it's collecting, it's going to suppress bacteria for up to a 99.99% of germ killing. And that's good to know after it does a household clean. There are all kinds of allergens, bacteria, and everything that the Narwal Freo Z10 can pick up. And it's good to know. It's going to be stored after killing the pathogens within your dust and dirt it had collected. Now this is how you take out the dust bag. The dust bag is 2.5 liters. That's about 1/2 gallon of capacity. Now I'm going to empty mine so you can see all the stuff it got. You should never do that. I'm just doing it to show you what it picked up. I'm pouring it out onto this plate. Here is all that it picked up. What a mess. I'm only doing this for the demonstration of this video. Don't do this at home. Here's how I'm putting the dust bag right back in. It fits right into the slot. And that very large 2.5 liter dust bag is going to last you 120 days, and you only need to throw it away maybe 2 to 3 times a year. And it's really easy to get replacement parts for this or many of the other things in case something were to wear out from your heavy use. This is my family room. This is where the kids hang out. They watch TV and they snack. A tisket and a tasket, and here is the basket full of the messes that they make down here. Well, it's a joy when the kids are having their parties and sprinkles go everywhere. Being a mom is the best with all the fun the kids have at their parties. And they certainly like their chips. Those seem to crumble and go everywhere too. Well, sometimes those even get crunched up into little pieces because they step on them, because that could happen. I sometimes feel my whole life is going to the birds, as in birdseed. Raising kids can make you so crazy you feel like pulling your hair out. And in this case, in big bunches. I seem to be losing my hair when I get stressed. By the handful. And what really gets me is I've learned about gravity. Now, gravity is supposed to just go down and pull things down, straight down. But somehow, it gets under the couch. Like, how does that mess really get under the couch? And there's no way that I can reach that stuff underneath the couch. With any vacuuming I would do, there's no way. I need something low profile. So I'm so happy to have my Narwal Freo Z10 to go after this mess. This robotic vacuum cleaner is king when it comes to picking up the worst of the messes. We got the sprinkles, we got the hair, we got the chips, and we got under the couch. And with my app, it's gonna take off and clean this whole room. So I don't have to. My Narwal Freo Z10 is gonna do it for me. Just watch. Now it's time to send out my Narwal Freo Z10 to pick up all this mess on my carpet. I'm doing a vacuum only clean. This is where I want to talk to you about the hyper suction it has and the rotation per minute of the vacuum mechanical motor inside. Here we have a mess made up of all kinds of particles from those sprinkles and crumbs, also my hair and pet fur from my kitty cat. And here we see the Narwal Freo Z10 pick that up. This is the highest suction power I have seen yet in a robotic vacuum. It has 15,000 PA. That is hypersuction. It is on that floor with that suction, getting all those particles and hair. It's amazing that the vacuum motor rotation within that disc is spinning around at 63,000 rotations per minute. That is the most powerful of motors I've seen. And it is uninterrupted with the high-speed flow of air, sucking up everything in its path. It's not clogging up. It's going over and over on this carpeting, getting all the debris and residue. Now, this is a complicated room. It had mapped before, so it knew the layout of this room. Narwal has 800 plus patented technologies it incorporates into its robotics. Those technologies include SLAM, that stands for Simultaneous Localization and Mapping. It's a technological mapping that's incorporated into robot technology, so it can build a map and find itself on that map at the same time. With its AI, it's computated its distance from every object it sees in its path. And it did that within the mapping before it cleaned the space. And with that SLAM technology, it has a three-dimensional perception, and those are sensors. They're not cameras. They're sensors for your privacy, but the sensors are gathering information about the shapes of the things right in its path and that it had detected in its room. And it's three-dimensional because it has two sensors to do that. The Narwal Freo Z10 has precision obstacle avoidance and edge cleaning. And for the heaviest, sturdiest areas, it will go over those areas, but check this out. It'll turn around and go get some more. It knows this is a heavy soiled area and to clean extra thorough where it sees all those particles on that carpet. Now that's fantastic. I've never seen this before in my life. Narwal has over 100 patents that makes it special with robotic cleaning technology. These are groundbreaking advancements in cleaning. This particular one I'm speaking about is called Dirt Sense because it precisely detects the largest areas of dirt for extra cleaning in the moment and doesn't waste its time or energy in other areas of the room that are lightly soiled. So it's figured out how to get under the couch and how to get that hair and all that mess under the couch in the dark. It's dim down there and doesn't miss a beat. Just like it did under the bed, it's going to go underneath your couch as well. And this couch has a very low profile. All of my hair is caught with this anti-tangle technology it has. Now, I found some video on how that works because I couldn't really understand it. And I'm showing you how it's doing that right here. It's got a tangle-free system, and that's engineered to solve hair issues from the side brush to the roller brush. The side brush will come together if it senses there's a tangle of hair there. I mean, it's amazing how it figures that out, but it does. It'll take that hair and bring that hair with all that suction power into itself, and then have the side brush extend again and keep going. Never seen that before. And that way, you don't have to stop if it seems to get clogged and turn it upside down and clean it out. It does this automatically. That means there's zero maintenance for you to do when it comes to a lot of hairs. Hairs were always a real hassle with any vacuum. The Narwal Freo Z10 has been designed so hairs aren't a maintenance problem with this robotic vacuum. And if you're to have steps and uneven flooring, just know the technology is such that it knows when it's reaching a point. The anti-fall technology will sense it has a stair or an uneven surface, and it will make its retreat so it's not going to fall down and damage itself. So going from a huge big mess on the floor with all kinds of particles and hair and fur balls, the Narwal Freo Z10 will clean quickly, efficiently, so you don't have to, all by itself, leaving you to do something better than cleaning your carpets. And here's the after shot, just beautiful. And one more time, I took out the dust bag, I poured it out, and you could see all that it collected. Wow, what a mess. There was such a large quantity in this mess, and it got it all, including all that hair. And that hair is there. It was not tangled up and stuck in the machine. It sucked up and went right into the dust bag. When you order your Narwal Freo Z10, it'll come right to your door, like mine came to my door. I took it out of its cardboard box and I put it right on my kitchen counter. This is what the box looks like. This is all sides of the box. The box is so well designed, and on the back of the box, it has some of the key features to remind you of why you bought it in the first place. The box is so beautiful, this would make a great gift for any of your friends or family. I open the box. This is the first thing you're going to see. The quick guide. I like that. There are the 2 side brushes on top and safety instructions. I pulled that layer off, and behind the safety instructions is a user manual. I started unlayering the box, and down at the bottom of the box is the vacuum and its components. I took that out of the box because I wanted you to see how well it was packaged with the base it was in to cushion any of the things that can happen during shipping. They take great care so things don't get damaged. I unwrapped it layer by layer. It all had plastic so it wouldn't get scratched. And here it is. I took out the vacuuming disc so you could see the inside. This is the ramp it's going to go on when it goes home to charge. Here's the back of it. Here is one of its sides and the front again. Now I open the front panel so we can see what's inside of that. On the left is the dust bag. On the right upper is where the detergent cartridge goes. Here's a close-up of the dust bag. When you open the top, on the left side is where your dirty water goes. That's the tank, and on the right side, the clean water tank is there. I took out the dirty tank, and I took out the clean tank. Gives you an idea what the interior looks like. This is the top of the home base of the Narwal Freo Z10. Here is a cleaning tray that gets attached to the base station. I flipped it over for you to see how high quality it is. And here's the base station extension ramp. And here is the Narwal Freo Z10 vacuuming disc. And here you see in the center of that are the radar sensors. And we can see the dustbin that is inside the disc. And on top of it, it has clear instructions of how it's used. Here's a clear shot of the whole top of the Narwal Freo Z10 vacuum disc. Here it is without the dustbin in it. I flipped it over so we could see underneath. We see 2 of the highly textured mopping pads, the center brush, the wheels, the zero tangling floating brush right in the center, the heavy-duty wheels on each side. Here's a close-up of the zero tangle floating brush, and I took off the mopping pads, and you can see they're Velcro attached. Easy to take off if you want to clean them further. And you can even take that part of the rotating disc off as well. The top is the caster wheel. That gives it the incredible maneuverability. Here over you're going to attach your side brushes. And let me point out the carpet center. You wouldn't know what that is, but I do. The very bottom of the screen, there's this round hole. That's going to tell the robot vacuum if you're on carpet or hardwood floors, which is important. So it can lift up those mopping pads so they don't spread any moisture onto your carpet. That's how this technology works. And where you see the purple circle and the orange circle, that is where your side brushes are going to attach. There they are in their cardboard holding box. I took them out so we can have details. There they are in the vertical position that's going to take out the hair for the vacuum to suck it up. It comes like that. And here they are extended and attached. You just press each of them in and they're color coordinated so you know which one goes where. Here I'm going to take the top up of the zero tangling floating brush and I'm going to take that brush out of the vacuum. That you can just pull out. Now here's the electrical cord. I took the plastic piece off of the user manual and safety instructions. I opened up the user manual so you can see how well it's illustrated with easy directions to understand. And I love the quick guide. I opened it up and that made it really easy to set up when I first got it. Here's how you assemble the home base. First I put on my base station extension ramp. It's clear. And then next you're going to slide in the cleaning tray. It's gray. Into the cleaning base. Inside the dirty water collection tank, there are some accessories. I took them out, and one of them is a specially formulated floor cleaner. It has a very nice scent of lemon basil. Here's what the bottom of that cartridge looks like. It has a knob on the left, and I pulled off the tab on top, and here is where it goes. Right on the upper right side of the front of the unit, behind the panel. In it goes. It snaps right in. Narwal. This is your company for easy cleaning. Base station buttons. You can operate your base station if you want to, just by the buttons, and they give you a chart to tell you how to do so. Here's where the touch panel to do so is located, right next to your tanks. Here's your clean water tank, the purple one. You unsnap the top and you fill it with normal tap water all the way to the top. I'm plugging in my machine. It goes into a 120 volt, 3-prong plug, normal North American USA household outlet. Now the other end of the cord, it will plug right in to the base. It fits securely. Now it's time to install the app. I like to 100% charge my Narwal Freo Z10 before downloading the app. It's always a good thing to do with app-based appliances. So go in and get your Narwal Freo app, and then you log in and register and download just like any other app for any other appliance. It's very simple, it's very intuitive. I pressed and selected my Narwal Freo Z10 Ultra and then walked through the menus that showed up on my cell phone, and then it loaded up. And in no time at all, it connected to my internet. And success, I was in. The settings menu has a lot of choices. There's a lot of information. I'm not going to go through that on this video because the simple setup was really just where I wanted to go. There are a lot of settings, including a child lock if you'd like that. You can customize it. Maybe your family has pets. And on the base station, there are other controls you have, like auto dust collection, drying intensity, all kinds of things, as well as many other features. I was up and running with no time with my Narwal Freo Z10 Ultra. It got all of that coffee up without staining any of my wood flooring. It cleaned up after the kitty cat with that big mess under the bed. It also cleaned my carpet-only room with all the mess of a happy family, including all that hair of mine. So whether it's wet messes, messes under beds, or messes on carpetings, the Narwal Freo Z10 will do it all. What an impressive cleaning job from the Narwal Freo Z10. Click the link below to get your Narwal Freo Z10. It's an amazing robot mopping vacuum. I love mine. I think you'll like yours too. I'm Rebecca Brand. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to get notified of my next video. And let's keep making great recipes in life. And today's recipe is for a really clean floor with Narwal. If you like this video, here's more over there, including some of my recipes. And those can be messy, so you'll need the Narwal to clean those up in case you spill right there.